Welcome to Screen to Speed, powered by Init eSports. In this podcast, we dive into the journeys of remarkable individuals making waves in sim racing and bridging the virtual with the real. From the thrill of digital circuits to the roar of real life racetracks, we explore the passion, dedication, and innovation that drives the world of motorsports. We'll hear from athletes, creators, and pioneers sharing their stories, insights, and the powerful ways sim racing is connecting communities and creating pathways into motorsports. So buckle up, Screen to Speed starts now.
Welcome everyone. Happy to see you on Init Talks. Today we got Brenna Schubert with us. She's a racing driver for Prodigy Racing. Welcome, Brenna. Happy to have you here.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm excited to be on.
Yeah, so let's start how you get actually into racing, what bring you here, and then going to get to know you better today.
Yeah, definitely. So, it was kind of funny. Me and my dad were at a miniature golf course when I was 9 years old, and they had these little rinky-dink go-karts there that I just begged my dad to try them. And as soon as my foot hit the gas, I just fell in love with the adrenaline rush. So that was kind of the main start for me. And then we kind of shopped around for some different go-kart places and eventually got into karting a little bit more serious, kind of took it into my own hands to try and kart at more of a national level. And then I got some opportunities in a few different testing opportunities in cars through the PT Autosport Aspiring Driver Shootout. And then found this Racing Prodigy opportunity in The Sims. So I downloaded Street Kart and started practicing on that mobile racing game and earned my spot into the Prodigy Racing League.
That's awesome. So you actually started from indoor karting, so which is rent kart, yeah, right? Do you have like big championships in United States with those? Because I remember that I did some, in Russia we had the endurance championship with rent cars, karts. It was really exciting. A lot of teams and like 5 people per kart. It was really awesome. So tell me more about this.
Yeah, definitely. We have a few really good championships actually in the United States. We don't quite have like the SOTY World Series that a lot of other countries have. I'm not sure why, because we do have a lot of SOTY rental karts here. But we do have the Touring Kart Championship and Endurance Karting USA, which is kind of what you were talking about with a lot of the endurance racing. So when I first started out, I mainly just kind of started at my home track, which would be the Lehigh Valley Grand Prix, and they're one of the only gas indoor tracks left, that aren't electric. And then me and my dad would travel around sometimes to find some of the like Ironman races or endurance races. So we went to some tracks in Connecticut, on track karting specifically. And then, after I kind of did that for a while, then I started traveling more with the Touring Kart Championship, where they go to a few different states across the East Coast. And I also did some races with Endurance Karting USA, where they go all over the country and they hold, super long, upwards of 12-hour endurance races. I also did a 24-hour endurance race with Simcraft. That was really, really fun. That was in the a Briggs LO206. So that's not quite a rental kart per se, but that was just an endurance race. But the rest of the endurance races that I've done have been in rental karts like that. Yeah.
I think, endurance racing is so exciting. I really like to do endurances in iRacing because it's different strategy. You're trying to save fuel, you're trying to save tires, and like be careful on the track rather than pushing so hard like we're doing in sprint races and short races. So I think you like this format as well. And okay, and how you move actually from karting to national car racing, and can you tell me about difference? So, like first time you jump into the car on the big racing track compared to what you had in the kart.
Yeah, so firstly, I definitely agree with you on endurance racing. I love those endurance karting races. They're so much fun. But yeah, when I first moved up to cars, my first ever experience in a car was the Lucas Oil Formula Car School. And I believe my dad got me that for my birthday. I was like begging him. He was pretty reluctant to do it, but there was the opportunity. At the time, the Lucas Oil had a shootout where if you just attended the school, you were eligible for the shootout and the potential to win a full season with them. So I think that kind of won him over a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But my first time in that car was definitely eye-opening and a little humbling because I was coming from winning all these karting championships and everything like that, and then I jumped into this car and I kind of expected to be good right off the bat, and that was
Mm-hmm.
not really the case. So I still did pretty decent looking back. Like I just expected to be the best in the school and I wasn't. So um it definitely was eye-opening just kind of transitioning. I always thought that the transition from karts to cars went super smooth for everybody and that it prepared you for everything. It definitely prepares you a lot, but I don't think it's a super smooth translation for a lot of people. So I struggled there, but then my experiences after that were all in like sports cars, and I felt really comfortable right away for the most part in the sports cars that I drove. So I got the opportunity with Formula Woman to drive some sports cars, and then eventually the being selected for the PT Autosport Aspiring Driver Shootout, which is in the Porsche Boxster.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you said, transition from karts not going as smooth as you expected, because the same thing happened to me when I been joining the formulas, the open wheelers. After I've been like for many years in karting, I was like, wow, you actually don't see anything like from cockpit, and it's horrible, and you just realize that the track is so wide, the main straight, it's real long, and it took hours like to get till the end of it. So yeah, it took some time for me to get used to it also because view is completely different to kart.
Definitely. And not only that, but I mean, since we both kind of, it sounds like, kind of made that transition to formula
Yeah,
cars
yeah.
initially, and like you have to, the brakes, you have to brake so hard and everything like that, and it's just not completely different, but it's pretty different there and just a lot more intimidated because when you're in a go-kart, you don't really have to worry too much about crashing or anything like that. But when you're in a car, if you crash, it's either very painful or very painful to the wallet. So,
Or yeah, that's true. Like cars is so cheap compared to racing on the big track.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, as you said, you have to push brakes harder, and you can feel like G forces also more, and yeah. So formula it's completely different. I remember guys who's been they doing the track days, and I've been doing formula these days, and they like coming to me and asking me. So they've been driving the Porsche GT3 RS on the track, and they like tried for a few laps formulas, and they like coming to me with a huge respect, like, how are you doing this? This thing is so scary to drive on the track, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely, you know, Formula, it's a great experience, really fun cars.
Yeah, big props to you for doing that. I would like to at some point try out a Formula car again now that I have some more basic car knowledge and
Hmm.
basic, skills that way. I think it definitely was super intimidating as a first experience in cars, but I'm sure it'll still be intimidating as a, secondary experience, but hopefully I can at some point jump back in to see if I've conquered that that intimidation or not, but
Yeah, definitely with more experience, like it will be easier to do and, you know, more fun to have for you for sure. Um, So let's dive deep into like car racing and all this stuff. So, what's your favorite combo which you've been driven, like the car and the track also in real life?
so probably my overall favorite combo would have to be uh, the Racing Prodigy Radical
Mm-hmm.
um, at Homestead, Miami, because I just kind of really jived with that track. I did really good
Mm-hmm.
on that weekend, and it was the first kind of time in that car where I was like, okay, I have the pace to win, and I feel really comfortable on this track. However, I do have to say, my first, well, actually, technically, my second experience in a car, because the first time was the Lucas Oil School.
Mm-hmm.
But the second time in the car was with the Formula Woman uh, finals in North America. They were held at Calabogie Motorsports Park in Canada, and it's not a super well-known track.
Mm-hmm.
But oh my gosh, that is the prettiest and coolest track that I've been to since. I mean, it's super long. It's over 5 kilometers, so, over 3 miles. And it's absolutely beautiful. It has the coolest turns that I've ever been on, like the coolest combinations. And I went during the fall, and it's like in the woods with all the pretty orange leaves. So it was just absolutely beautiful. But I was only driving like a Scion FRS there, I believe. So it wasn't a super, super, interesting car
Mm-hmm.
necessarily, but the track was just amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, Canada is so beautiful with the nature and everything. Definitely. Um, what do you like the most in tracks? For me, I really like, you know, up hills, down hills, some blind corners. That's really, you know, like get me excited. Really like Road Atlanta. I would love to drive this track in real life if I will have opportunity. I also had some races with formulas. We had the Kazan Ring. This is the track which I drove with formula. It was with a blind corner. It was really scary, you know, just going uphill. Then you've got a moment where you're braking. You're like braking, and you know, taking the breath and then jumping into S's which going down. It was really exciting. So what about you? What's your like what's favorite like about the track for you?
I'd say so. My favorite thing is just whether I feel like it flows or not. Like
Mhm.
if it's a flowy track and I can just get in the groove, it's so much fun
Mhm.
and just feels great when you're out there. I'm sure you've kind of had similar experiences, but I'd say probably where I've found that I do like the best at is kind of high speed tracks for
Mhm.
some reason. Um, which is kind of weird because I feel like I'm like, I feel like I take tight corners pretty good, but for some reason, if it's more of just kind of high speed corners or anything like that, I feel like I typically do the best at those types of tracks.
Mhm.
But just any track that flows and has a lot of, like you said, interesting corners and elevation changes
Yeah, yeah,
into dips and
yeah.
corners. Those are so much fun and really feel really good to drive.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. And you mentioned the Radical Championship. So, how you actually get into this? As I'm aware, there was some kind of league, so you get into it and then get opportunity to drive into the championship. So, tell us more about this.
Yeah, so I didn't have my own sim at the time, and I actually technically still don't have my own sim. I'm just lucky enough to have some race car driver roommates who have sims as well. So I get to use their sim pretty much whenever I want. But uh, since I didn't have my own physical sim, I decided to try and enter the Racing Prodigy competition through Street Kart, which is a mobile game on your phone.
Hmm.
And that's where some of the selections were being made for the Racing Prodigy shootout, which was in the real cars. So um, I just had to post a top 50 fastest time to then be eligible to send in a video on why I should be selected for the shootout.
Hmm.
So I got in the top 50 on the game and then sent in my video, was selected for the kind of final judges pick. And then I actually wasn't selected by the judges.
Hmm.
Um, but they ended up it was me and one other driver, Camden Hibbett, which they found that they saw a lot of potential in also. So they decided to give out two extra Prodigy passes for the shootout, which were awarded to me and him. So that was really, really awesome of them and really nice of them and nice of the sponsors to allow them to do that also and give us the shot that we were looking for.
Hmm. It's really interesting. You got selection event with the mobile game, yeah, right?
Yeah.
That's really funny. I never heard that you can get like we know some examples where actually people who's in sim racing, they jumping into the real world of racing and get into selections, like for example the Gran Turismo Academy or something like this. But never heard that actually the mobile game can bring you to the real life racing.
Yeah, and I think, the reason that they mainly, had Streetcar as a part of this opportunity is because Racing Prodigy is trying to find the best of the best from, all around the world and just give opportunities to those who don't have them. So, um, you know, people might not be able to even afford a simulator to
Hmm.
enter this competition through iRacing or R Factor or the other platforms that Racing Prodigy was selecting from. So I think it's really cool that they kind of included Street Kart, the mobile game, in there to give that opportunity to anyone who can just download a game on their phone. Um, and honestly, the selections or the drivers that came from Street Kart, a lot of them did really, really well in real life. Because I think mainly, even though it's just a karting game, it still teaches you all the lines and
Hmm.
car control and everything like that. So, yeah, it was really interesting to see how they progressed throughout, and it's really cool.
Yeah, it's really nice. You also mentioned that it's more open for more people because not everybody got opportunity to got a simulator at home, the rig, or not enough room, or not enough like budget or something. So it's really nice to see that they found a way to bring more people into selection event. Really cool. Tell me more about Radical SR1, the car. This is a prototype, and it should be somewhere between the road car like GT car and Formula. So what's your feelings about this car? Do you like it? And yeah, so give me more your emotions about it.
So I definitely love the car. Sometimes it doesn't love me back though. But no, but I love the car. I love driving it. It definitely feels very similar to a go-kart. Before I had an experience in this car, a lot of people say that it feels pretty much exactly like a go-kart. And they're right. But the problem is I have been kind of out of karting for a while, so I have to kind of retrain my brain to drive like I'm in a go-kart again. So it's actually, even though I came from karting, it's like harder for me because I'm so used to now driving heavy sports cars and having to be super smooth with my steering and, easing off of the brakes for, trail braking and everything like that. In the Radical, you really don't have to trail brake that much. And, especially because right now I'm working as an instructor at the Ron Fellows Performance Driving School and Spring Mountain, where we're driving Corvettes and Cadillacs all day long. And my muscle memory is, firm on the brakes initially and then pretty much almost immediately start trailing off the brake to turn into the corner and then just coasting for a while, then getting to gas. But like in the Radicals, you have to hold that firm pressure for way longer and then just kind of immediately come off and immediately get to the gas. So it's kind of hard for my brain to switch off from Corvette mode into Radical mode. But when I am driving it, I love it. And I'm like, this feels so good. Like, I feel like I can catch the car really easily too, for the most part. And it's just amazing and fun to drive. And it's a physical workout too. And it feels good because I haven't really been able to find a car that's, almost the same physical workout as go-karting. So the Radical is a pretty good workout, and it's super, super fun to drive. You feel like you can really feel the aero kicking in as well, even though the SR1s actually have less aero than the other Radicals, but you can definitely feel the aero, and it's a blast to drive.
Yeah, it's really sound like the Formula 4 and Formula Masters, which I drove. So yeah, you really have to like push brakes and then release as soon as possible the brakes and jump into the corner because you don't need that long trail braking because car got aero, so aero help also with it a little bit. So you need to just transfer the weight to the front and then car going to do everything for you, and you just return back on gas as soon as possible. So it's really cool. Yeah. It's, about the Corvette. I can imagine, this is really heavy car and like with a big engine, that would be, really hard to switch to Radical because it's really light and nice car to drive.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of funny because I should be better at driving the Radical, I feel like, because I grew up in karting and that's my main background. But because I'm driving these Corvettes every single day as my daily job, like now it's kind of screwed me for my Radical championship. But I think for the most part, I think I got the hang of these Radicals really well. At, for example, the Homestead Miami race, I performed really, really well. It's just sometimes after the first session, the coaches are always telling me, looking at the data, well, you're entering with too much, momentum. You need to stay on the firm pressure longer. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, I'm just trying to take the sport, but but once they tell me that, it usually registers, okay, I'm in Radical mode, Brenna, not Corvette mode. So yeah.
All right, it's really cool that you adapt to the car and actually had fun with it. Really nice engineers, like Save Them Please, they helping a lot with the telemetry and all this stuff for us.
Definitely. Yeah, big thank you to the engineers and the coaches and everything. It's so cool what they, and how much we benefit from it too. It's awesome.
Yeah. So moving forward, let's talk a little bit about that you a global ambassador of the FIA Girls on Track, and also you are eSport Cup winner of it. So yeah, I'm ready to hear a story from you.
Yeah, so that opportunity was really cool. I basically was just scrolling on Instagram and I found the advertisement from the FIA about the eSport Cup. And I was like, okay, I need to practice on the simulator more anyway, so I'll go for it. Didn't really expect to get a top time because like I said, I don't have my own simulator and I don't really consider myself a super good simulator racer. I actually typically only use the sims that are available to me for just practicing tracks that I'm going to soon. So I don't think I've ever actually done an official iRacing race before. I just go on the sim like to do open lapping. So, once I saw that it was a time attack and not a race, I was like, now we're talking. So, basically, I just got on the sim and I did like 500 laps. The other girls that won their region only did like less than 100. I had to do like 500 to get a good time and just was practicing. But I'm really glad that I did it because it really, I think, is going to help me in the future. I find myself already getting faster much quicker on the simulator when I'm practicing other cars ahead of my races. So I think it's really going to be beneficial, especially since with the Racing Prodigy stuff, I saw how good some of these sim racers were as soon as they jumped in the real life car, and they didn't even have any real life car experience and they just jumped in and were quick right away. So that's something that I'm trying to work on because I find myself getting up to speed, but not as quickly as some other people. So I'm trying to work on that using the simulator to do so. But anyway, I ended up posting the fastest lap time after 500 laps for North America and Central America. So, yeah, they reached out to me, said that I won my region, and then we got to be eSport ambassadors at the Girls on Track event at the London Formula E race. And that was really cool. It was the first time going to the Formula E race. And we're supposed to go again to one of the upcoming F1 races as well. So I'm looking forward to it. And it was super great interacting with all of the girls on track. Girls, they're so great. And it was really cool because one of the girls that I'm friends with on Instagram, her name's Andy, and she messaged me and was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be at the Girls on Track event. I'll come up to you. And we met and we were talking about her go-karting. She's an Irish go-karter, and I was coaching her on the sims. And she did amazing on that simulator. She's going to be a really good race car driver, and she's older for sure. But yeah, so it's just so cool, getting to kind of meet these young girls in karting or other aspects who you actually kind of know online, and then meet them in person just from around the world. It was really cool.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think, nice experience. As we got here on the Init talks, also I met a lot of girls who's like in motorsport industry. They either like designers or racing drivers or coaches. So yeah, it's really cool to meet people from your industry, share your experience with them, especially if they only on the beginning or only starting their way into the racing. It's really nice. Do you feel did you have any like stereotype because you're a girl in racing or not? Because personally I had some it was really funny. When I get into the formula, I was like 17 years old, and here in Kazakhstan, they used to have articles, topics about me that girl without driving license, because people don't understand that you got racing license.
Yeah.
So it was really funny. And, when I was in a formula, I also was like alone. So boys, they've been together with each other, like having fun, talking and doing all the stuff. I was alone, do you have something like this in your experience or not?
So I totally get ya. I mean, when I was younger and I first started out in karting, I was like, what are these people talking about that girls are treated differently in motorsport? Because I didn't get that at all when I was first growing up in karting. I felt like I was treated perfectly, fairly, and everything. And it wasn't until I kind of got on social media and people are able to hide behind the screen and then say kind of bad things about me on their phones or something because they're not seeing me in person. But I think in person also too, because I'm 5 feet 11 inches tall, and I think sometimes I'm a little intimidating to people. So I think in person it wasn't as bad because I don't think anybody was gonna say hateful things to my face or anything like that. But there are definitely, some joking stereotypes, or even at my job, since I'm an instructor, sometimes the students they'll lightheartedly make some jokes about being a girl driver, but then I take them for their demonstration lap where they're in the passenger seat and I'm driving the car for them, driving their car to kind of show them a good lap, and then after that they don't say anything anymore. So yeah, but I mean, for the most part, I don't think anything has been super, super bad. For a while, some of my karting competitors, when I first got started in the national series, they were giving me a lot of hate online because, like I said, I was making a lot of TikTok videos at the time. So I guess maybe they thought that I was making like racing related TikToks, and I think they maybe thought that they were a little cringy or something like that, and started making fun of me a lot there. And sometimes it would translate on track. They would try and put me off the track and stuff like that. But other than that, everybody for the most part has been pretty great. But I do see for sure stereotypes coming into play at times throughout my life.
Yeah, definitely. We've been talking about like different communities, different countries, and how girls got experience there. And the only thing which I noticed that formula can be a little bit more competitive, so people like more aggressive, and overall racing community is really friendly for everybody. For example, that racing is really cool, and met some people with this comments. I really like women and a cup of coffee.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's so funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a couple of times really, and most of the time community really friendly. They super supportive and so nice, and it's cool to see that more girls into like jumping into the sim racing and racing as well. It's nice to see.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's so many more girls involved just over the past few years. I mean, when I was growing up, there was nobody. Like, I was always the only girl in my events. In the US, I think there's still not many girls in karting, because a lot of times when I do a karting event, I'm still usually the only girl in my class, but sometimes there are a few others. But I think in other aspects, like of car racing in general, I think there's a bigger population of girls now, and on sim racing as well. It's definitely growing in all areas, but I think especially in those for sure.
Yeah, I think the reason of it, just because, karting, this is a place where people jumping when they young, when they like 9 years old, 6 years old, or something like this. Like maybe that a little bit harder to do for some people because their family not aware of racing at all, and then they like jumping into their 20s, 25, and they're like, oh, I can race the car on track. So yeah, I think that's why we can see a lot of girls. Like I think in the United States also we've been talking about that in drag racing, a lot of girls, and in car racing, and like everywhere. But karting, I think it's a little bit niche of racing, where you're getting because of your family first of all.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
I would have to agree.
Yeah, and moving forward, what's your plans for this year and upcoming years? What do you plan to do, and what's your dream?
Yeah. So first and foremost, fingers crossed that I'll get redrafted for the Racing Prodigy series next year, because I definitely want to continue racing Radicals, and just being a part of that program is, and their mission is absolutely amazing. Um, but then I'm also at the end of this month gonna make my NASCAR Euro Series debut in the Rookie Challenge. So I'm super excited about that. One of my roommates made their NASCAR Euro Open Series debut a few months ago at Brands Hatch, and I was just kind of talking to them about it, and I was like, you know what? I want to try one of these cars. So I'm just starting out in the rookie challenge, though, because I've never been in any type of stock car before. So the rookie challenge is pretty much just almost like a time attack,
Hmm.
but there is a competition to it. So I'm just starting out in that for now, getting my bearings in the car, and then hopefully I can go for a full season in NASCAR Euro next year. Maybe try and do an actual race before the end of this season. We'll see. Um, but yeah, I'm super excited about that. It's going to be in Czechia at Autodrome Most or Most. I am not
Hmm.
sure. I'm not sure on the
Hmm.
pronunciation. Do you know the pronunciation by any chance? Oh
I
no.
think you're right with pronunciation.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah,
But it's yeah.
I'm aware of this track. It's in a race room simulator,
Okay.
so you can find it here.
Yeah, it's a super fun track, and it's definitely flowy. It seems like,
Hmm.
I think it's gonna be my type of track, but we'll see. I'm kind of hoping that, like, if I end up doing good and I feel really good in the car after like the rookie challenge, maybe I can just like jump in a car for the race. But but probably probably not. But I've been driving it on one of my roommate's simulators, and the track just feels amazing. I'm so excited for it. So I'm hoping that kind of all works out, and then for next season in NASCAR Euro, and then hopefully at some point I can transition over to American NASCAR. It's
Hmm.
just a lot more of this than over in Europe at the moment. So, but I'll be looking for some sponsors for NASCAR Euro Series, and hopefully I can transition back to my home country here for
Hmm.
NASCAR at some point later on in the journey.
Yeah, I'm actually, really jealous and so happy for you, because I jump into racing, and I've been like racing in formulas, and I discover ovals, and I'm like, oh my god, I would like to try the car at least for once on track. So yeah, it's going to be great for you. So wish you good luck in NASCAR, and hopefully we're going to see you in like Xfinity and Cup Series in the future.
Hopefully, we'll see. Yeah. I mean, I think like a lot of us, it's just obviously it's a lot about money these days. not necessarily talent, but that's why I'm so thankful for the opportunities that I have had over the years,
Mm-hmm.
with all the shootouts that I've been involved in. You know, the PT Autosport shootout, the even the Formula Woman shootout, the Mazda shootout, and then the Racing Prodigy shootout, which ultimately gave me my, you know, my most shot in a professional racing series. And it's just incredible what these companies are doing to try and fix the issue at hand, because no other sport has this issue really. It's pretty much just racing. So it's just so cool that all these companies are trying to help out and have these shootouts, just honestly from the kindness of their heart, but for their passion for the sport and passion for helping us out. So yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to see. I notice in some racing the same stuff, like companies get involved into it and like bring in more money, bring in more prize money for people, also to give them opportunities in their life. And definitely it's cool to see that in racing we got the same stuff. I also so happy about my experience which I had, because I'm not from rich family. Like, we started karting and then we get sponsors here in Kazakhstan, and then I get into the team, and actually so grateful for this experience. And yeah, it's really cool that you know, companies jumping in and realize that racing also can be fun, and they can support drivers, and they can be their ambassadors. And I think it's really important. And what you did for your career already, you did cool networking, yeah, and I think it's going to help you in the future anyway.
Well, thank you. Yeah, that means a lot. And I mean, yeah, props to you as well for, I mean, I would absolutely love to drive a Formula car too. So I'm jealous of you. You're jealous of me. Maybe one of these days we can trade places or something.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
And the last one will be what advice can you give to girls and boys who want to jump into the racing? Doesn't matter if they like 6 years old or 20, 25, or maybe 45. So what your advice will be for them?
So, I mean, it's gonna sound like a cliche, but I always tell myself, because sometimes I hear these cliches and I'm like, oh, it's just a cliche. And then I really think about it and I'm like, wait, that actually has some meaning to it. But really, I mean, truly follow your dreams, because, and just don't give up on them, because really, if you don't give up on them and you're working towards them every day, you're gonna make it. I mean, people tell you this all the time, but I feel like you don't really believe it. But you should, because just, you know, for instance, when I was in middle school, I told my guidance counselor that I wanted to be a race car driver when I grew up. When he asked, you know, what type of careers I'm looking into, and I said, well, I'm going to be a race car driver, and he starts laughing, you know, in my face, and was like, well, maybe we should come up with another plan. But it's, you know, if you saw me now, look who's laughing. But no, but like, so yeah, like, you know, really just follow your dreams and don't believe anything that anybody says. If you know that you can make it yourself, then go make it. Because I mean, even my parents, we were going through a struggle period because they did not like that I was spending all my money on racing,
Mm-hmm.
and they really thought that I should just give up the dream. And then like 6 months later, I got the Racing Prodigy opportunity. I got the PT Autosport opportunity. I got this job in the, you know, instructing industry. And that all happened, you know, right after that period where I was really going to head with my parents. It was a really rough time for all three of us, because I just was not giving up on this dream and I wasn't going to. But
Mm-hmm.
it worked out, and now they're ultra supportive of me because I made it. So don't listen to anybody but yourself. Really keep pushing for that dream if it's truly what you want.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. And also want to add a little bit that community is really friendly. And if someone would like to jump into racing, sim racing, like karting, they should go here. People going to welcome you and support you in your way, give you advices, and maybe you'll get the opportunity to jump into like bigger racing team and on big tracks as well.
Yeah, definitely. And if anybody listening or watching ever wants, any feedback or advice or anything, feel free to reach out on Instagram or anything like that. So
Yeah. So guys, don't forget to follow Brenna on her Instagram. I just shared the link into the chat. Brenna, thank you so much. It was absolutely amazing to talk with you. You're gorgeous. So yeah, wish you good luck.
Well, thank you, but you should have heard me talking to my roommates earlier because I was like, oh, because I just got home from work like a half hour before the podcast started, and I was like, oh, like I can't straighten my hair's a mess, and I was like freaking out, and they were like, Brenna, you look fine, and then you say that, and I'm like, oh my goodness, no.
Hey, I just had like 1 hour sleep before the podcast, so all good.
Well, you look beautiful, and your red lipstick looks gorgeous too. Yeah.
Thank you. Yep. So yeah, wish you good luck. Once again, thank you so much for your time. It was really fun. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you for next Init Talks. Thank you, and thank you, Brenna.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Init eSports focuses on sim racing events and digital tournaments. They bring esports content to fans and sponsorship opportunities to brands while maximizing audience reach across multiple sports, industries, and platforms. Init eSports is a woman-led company where diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility is in their DNA. And their platform aims to combat bullying and cheating to help make the esports world as safe and fair as possible. To learn more, be sure to log on to www.initesports.gg or follow them on social media at Init Esports. Join their Discord, check out their YouTube channel, or follow their live content via Twitch.
This episode has been brought to you by Grand Touring Motorsports as part of our Motoring Podcast Network. For more episodes like this, tune in each week for more exciting and educational content from organizations like the Exotic Car Marketplace, the Motoring Historian, Break Fix, and many others. If you'd like to support Grand Touring Motorsports and the Motoring Podcast Network, sign up for one of our many sponsorship tiers at www.patreon.com/GT Motorsports. Please note that the content, opinions, and materials presented and expressed in this episode are those of its creator, and this episode has been published with their consent. If you have any inquiries about this program, please contact the creators of this episode via email or social media as mentioned in the episode.